Hello to all my friends out there. So I hope everyone is doing okay. What I have here is some chamomile tea with no sugar. So I'm eliminating the sugar from my diet. And this kind of tea, iced tea, chamomile iced tea or peppermint iced tea, has no caffeine and it's very good in iced tea. And I bought, in case you guys didn't see it, I bought this little thing at Dollar Tree. Okay, I posted the mukbang video on my Twitter, or you can do a search, mukbang. It's a Korean word, and it means eating large quantities of food while interacting with the audience. And if I can find it, I will post the video from the food bank that I watched. Okay, so now, the food plan continues. I think these car meals are very valuable in case of some kind of disaster, or you should have to evacuate, or you should have to stay in your house. You know, if the power goes down here, we can't get into the store. So for dinner, I made roasted chicken, potatoes, and roasted tomatoes and tea. And I added this list for stockpile. I ran into a lady one day in McDonald's, and she said, you know, in my family we had chicken, potatoes, and rice and beans, and you'll never run out of food. And then one of my customers was stranded at in Mexico, and an old man gave her rice, beans, and told her to grow a garden. And I added powdered milk, cheese, and oh, I can't believe this. I am going to put a star by this one. Okay. Stockpile oil, shortening, or lard. If you don't have any fat, you are basically going to be starving if something bad happens. Okay, so now let me get my roasted vegetables. Okay, I roasted these potatoes and these tomatoes in my oven. These could be sweet potatoes, these could be rice, these could be canned vegetables, fresh vegetables, frozen vegetables. I just happen to have a bunch of tomatoes. Let me turn it this way so you can see these are good, and they're really good with rice too. Oops. Drizzle the tomatoes with oil, sprinkle with basil, salt, and pepper. I roasted them in the same pan as my potatoes, and then I took them out and I dusted them with Parmesan cheese. And then, if things were really tight, you could just have roasted potatoes with ketchup and count your ketchup as a vegetable. These meals are for if you should get, if you should have very little money, so you can survive. All right, now. These kind of potatoes are really good with scrambled eggs. All right. Now, I need to get out my chicken. I made some rosemary chicken. Let me get it. And I poured my roasted vegetable drippings on it, and I just sprinkled it with salt, garlic, pepper, and rosemary. That's it. I bought one of these little things. It has basil in there, and then I have I think I bought this at Ralph's. Salt, pepper. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to start working on some of my meals to reduce the fat, reduce the sugar, and reduce the carb. So one good way to reduce the fat is to remove the skin. And you know, you won't be suffering. If you flavor your chicken up good on the skin, you won't be suffering much to, and then you've seen me do it a million times. Might as well take it off the bone. It's very easy. If your chicken is done, it's easy to take it off the bone. And then just, and you know, what I do is I buy the chicken for 99 cents a pound. Cheaper if I can find it. And you know, instead of buying chicken with bones, buy these chicken breasts. And then you can either have ranch or barbecue sauce. I mean, I'm not a Nazi on the issue of sugar. For many years, I ate very little sugar. But then I started getting sloppy. You know, I was in the beauty business, and I got really sloppy, and I said, I'm going to eat anything I want. Until, you know, I was watching that video of those ladies gobbling the food down. And also I noticed I was watching videos at the food banks, and the ladies seem obese. Same reason. It's sugar, fat, carbs. I try to reduce the salt as well. You can pretty much eat this kind of food at will. This could be any kind of meat. Potatoes, rice, sweet potatoes, any kind of vegetable. And then, you know, for your beverage, it could be any kind of sugar-free beverage. It could be milk. All right, let me give you one more shot at the meal plan is coming along nicely. I'm almost done with the second week. You can do your own meal plan. Just write your meals down, you know, as you eat them in a week. Or, you know, in 7 days. This is very important. I want to mention something. I think we could be headed for either food shortages or increase in food prices. One of the ladies said, you know, I took a lot of crap, you know, people giving me a hard time because I went to the food bank. No. Stock your house full of food. Create a stockpile any way you need to. If you need to go like 2-3 times to the food banks. Now out here, you can go to the food banks, no questions asked. Sometimes they want you to verify your address, you know, to make sure you live in the area. But there's plenty of places. I don't think the San Diego Food Bank. You can go to the Catholic Church in El Cajon. You can go to the Adventist Church in El Cajon. You can go to the Salvation Army in El Cajon. You can go to, you call 411 and they'll give you information. And if you don't live here in the East County, just go under Safari. When I was I took my friend to the food bank. I was surprised at how many people there who really didn't have any food, you guys. You know, they were not faking it. There was a couple there, a man and a woman, and they were living with their son. And finally, the woman said to her son, no, we need to go get this food. But they had no idea how to access the locations. You can get on the phone and you can just start calling the churches in your areas too. And you can ask them, some of the things have been discontinued, like the share food. When I was at the Adventist Church last, what I think I saw is that in order to keep their non-profit status, they have to work, not that particular church, I mean churches in general, they have to do community service. So in order for them to get their non-profit status, they have to provide service. So most likely, almost any church you call is going to have community service. Okay. Also, the Baptist Church on Hamishaw and Washington, they have meals a couple times a day, and I think it's called the Gateway Church. They have meals. I think those are really helpful for people who don't have enough food. Okay, you guys, God bless you all.